Yeah, hello, my fellow compatriots, Earth humans, and beings from all across the universe. My name is Cameron Clapp, aka Commander Salamander. What's up? Your facilitator and moderator for the show. Welcome to Cosmic Television Network, where we have some of the greatest lineup of legend, genius, and heroes. Stoked to be here on this show today. Of course, we have Emery Smith, veteran, scientist, inventor, and the host of Gaia's hit TV show Cosmic Disclosure. Today featuring JP Mishes, the secret space program insider, on with us today. And always bringing you extraordinary guests. Stoked to have you back, JP. Awesome you're here.
No problem.
And
It's a pleasure.
you guys are on the forefront of disclosure, and we just do the best that we can here to provide you with quality content. Always trying to bring you guys the best new information, and really just of course our host and our fearless leader and commander Emery Smith. So thank you all for joining us, Emery and JP Missions. We have so much to cover on the show today. So let's just hit the ground running. Super excited. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you, Cameron. We appreciate that. And thanks for that beautiful introduction, of course. Well, JP, welcome. Back on the show here. And
Appreciate
it's
it.
always a pleasure. Yeah, always a pleasure. We have good times, of course, off the shows and everything, and get to talk about things that we normally can't talk about in different settings, whether it's at a conference or on some of our side gigs that we do. But this is a place where we can open up, and we know our limitations, what we can and cannot say, and
Yes,
we
we do.
also out of respect for what you do and things. We know that there are certain things, certain questions that we have to steer away from, just for the time being. A lot of our talks that you and I do, that information is released pretty soon after some of these webinars are displayed online. We have to be careful too, just as disclaimer, anything that we're talking about, we're not going to be showing weapons or anything like that. And of course, any treatment modalities I might recommend, or the solutions cosmic market, that's at smith.co, are not here to treat or cure any disease. That's something you would want to contact your general practitioner for. All right, well, that being said, man, it's like where to start with this list of topics that you and I go over. There's always something fun to talk about. But off the bat, we've been getting a lot of emails in about the sightings for the TR3B from here all the way to Australia, Japan. I've got great pictures from Australia and Japan from people. We actually have people on here from Japan.
Oh, nice. I
Yeah,
just came from Japan. Beautiful country.
So
Oh my
you just
God.
came from
Yeah.
it was just a conference, right?
Yeah, I went for the conference, but I also visited Kyoto and Osaka.
Yeah.
Beautiful country. This was me entering Japan. When I entered Japan, the people was so beautiful. I couldn't move a little bit, but it's amazing. They're so lovable. I love them. Arigato gozaimasu. They're like amazing culture, and I didn't want to leave. It was so beautiful there.
Yeah, well, we're planning on getting something going over there next year. This year I've been turning down all the conferences. We're really building this healing experience center here, so that's kind of a priority for my team and myself. And but next year I'm given the green light to go on a lot of the conferences that we've been asked to go to.
Nice.
And it'll be fun, especially if I get to interview you on stage, and a couple of them. That would be great. I know I've been talking to Danny with Jessica, and
we will,
of course, all the big ones out there. It's just one of those things where we have to pick those specific ones that are not kind of corrupted up by any false information, or some of them have been overrun with disinformation, of course. So
yeah.
Talk about this TR-3B. I've known about that since the early 90s at McGill Air Force Base. It's funny, 20 years later, it first started like emerging, but they've had it for a long time. Their headquarters was in Tampa, so there was a lot of sightings from the people that live up and down that coast of Florida, being one of them. I had the inside scoop on that anyway, so it was just interesting to see how this unfolded. Just like the F-119 Stealth too, that was out for a long time. You just started seeing them like in the early 90s. I remember at White Sands watching them take off, and no one was really even knowing about that, but it was already out for 20 years before that. So that was another thing. So we can talk about some of the TR-3B sightings. I know you had some sightings as well.
Oh yeah. I think, actually in McDill, right by McDill Air Force Base. I started taking pictures when people came up to me and said, "Hey, look up, take pictures." People in a white van and all that, and I took a picture, and it was interacting with a helicopter. That happened 2000, what is that, 17 or 7? 17.
Yeah, it's a great photo, especially with lighting, and I know it's been ran through the system to make sure it wasn't superimposed or anything. I love these pictures and videos I'm getting from around. I told everyone this past year that you're going to see more and more of these, because a lot of the TR-3Bs now are owned by private corporations that kind of sold it off from the DoD, and there's you're going to actually probably see them like on the news, where people are going to be like, oh, now this is a new form of transportation. I don't think they're going to release all the classified stuff, but it is, does definitely have some anti-gravitic properties. I know we get constant emails and videos and pictures. If you guys want to send stuff, then you can to cosmicmarket3@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of us too. And, we do look stuff. There's just so much coming in. It's not anything new. Only thing I can tell people is that there's many different kinds of TR-3Bs. And it has been replaced by another one that we might be able to talk about a little later on in the episode. If you want, Cameron, you can show them that one from Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman. They had a nice sketch. Some people did some sketches on that one, and I really
I'll put it up there right now.
I actually, when I was with Clifford Stone in Roswell, New Mexico, a few years back before he passed away, he did
Emery, this one? Or this one?
That one there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this is something JP you're really familiar with as well.
Oh yeah, these ships.
Actually,
probably I think it was the first one that I took a picture in my backyard. Let me see the TR. It's a little bit smaller than the TR-3B, and I think it's the size of, like, let me see, 3 Denalis parked side by side. It's a good size, but you still can walk in there, like in a slant. So it's an amazing ship. It's an amazing.
Were you the one that showed me those classified inside the, not to expose you, there was ones that there were some really great photographs of the inside. I don't remember who took them, but you don't have to answer that. So it was just basically putting JP on the spot. Shame on me. The insides are really dynamic and very misleading of the size on the inside. When you say, JP, hypothetically speaking, I mean, and they do, these are going to have a lot of service use for, I can see so much stuff, not just with getting life-saving equipment during disasters, but also life-saving stuff for, transporting organs and patients that wouldn't be able to get to a place. Helicopters are great and all, but they'll be pretty much going to the side here. I mean, helicopters are always going to be there, but they're going to be streamlined with anti-gravitics, so they're going to be more efficient. And of course, with the new scalar technology, where they're able to create their density around these aircraft, which they're already doing with a lot of military aircraft and helicopters, where they're cutting the drag down. And of course, they did that also with submarines.
And people need to understand also, Emery, that these ships also got compartments that they separate with like a flick of the button. They get bigger. It's like it's overlapped, right? And then when they go to space or like 0G gravity, these ships they get bigger with the flick of a button, and each side gets bigger. So they got compartments that separate and makes it bigger. So it's an amazing ship.
It is an amazing ship, even though it's archaic. And I have to just say that out loud for the military and the scientists watching, because I get on their cases all the time. Because we do have a lot more advanced systems, but it is so cool to see. And I'm so glad people around the world, as far as Iceland too, are reporting in about them. They're all over the place. I think a lot of this new sightings have to do with this testing and the response to the world. So it's a slow disclosure for some of these technologies. But like I said, a lot of these technologies are already in our fighter aircraft. Normally, we're using these propulsion units, but they're also doing half and half hybridization, kind of like a hybrid car, but they're using anti-gravitics as well. And speaking of scalar and photometry, one of my great friends, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, is going to be presenting with Daniel Brinkley and myself this evening at the EES Stone here in Las Vegas, and I'll have Darla post that. So if you want to catch a quick glimpse of me and Daniel Brinkley, and Daniel very well, and I didn't want to. I just, when I heard the word scalar, I cannot help but think of Sandra and all the amazing healing technologies she has brought to the forefront. Even with our technology that we use for scanning, we've learned a lot from each other on how to utilize that in healing mode, not so much and also a defensive mode. And a lot of frequencies that you and I use out there in the field are defensive frequencies. So concentrate frequencies to at such a high vibration to repel even bullets and projectile stuff. I don't know if you want to touch. I don't know if you want to touch on that. We did say we were going to touch on that.
Well, depending on the speed of the bullet or RPG or whatever is shot, it slows it down with I think it's a type of electromagnetic wave that it creates using quantum mechanics.
Yeah, it is. It's on a quantum nano level, but it's also dimensional.
Oh yeah.
So it's like that shield is operating on multi-dimensional levels. And once you can get a level above the three-dimensional scientific level of planet Earth, you can manipulate a lot of these projectiles and things like that, and the weapons that they're coming from. And now we're getting into interdimensional weapons, and we're not going to be showing weapons, or we're not going to talk about evil stuff, but we are going to talk about how a lot of technologies have been incorporated into your current weapons that you use. That will barely touch on that. And that's where it's going. A lot of these new weapons out there are not just projectiles that can find anything. Even the drones are now being recharged in a group sphere. So let's say I have 10,000 drones in a swarm, and I can actually, from a satellite, Bluetooth energy to them so they can go all the way around the planet. And this is a new type of also type of frequency-based energy. So it's not so much over unity free energy, because it is nonlinear. So it's comes from within infraspace. It's not a direct line, but it is coming from the millions of satellites that are out there specifically for this. Did you hear anything about that kind of?
Yeah, I heard Elon was trying to break a deal somewhere using that same technology and connect it with like Neuralink. Um, so
Yeah, the Neuralink is super fascinating. You know, I don't know. I didn't actually talk to you about this. There's so many things that every time I get you on, you know, so we can talk about certain things that we have experienced, and you know, as far as especially the contact work that you and I do on the side
yeah,
is phenomenal. I've never seen it this, you know, elevated in all my years. You know, being a contactee and working in the projects, it's even more now than it was when I lived in the projects. I mean, when I was working the projects. So I'm jumping around here, but the Neuralink. So there are going on that I can talk about that I've been briefed on about people that have this Neuralink that are not being subject to the media or subject to they're literally test subjects that are I don't say they're in programs because they volunteered to do it, but they're also contracted out. Elon, of course, knows about this,
oh
and
yeah,
they're utilizing this. And this is going to be mind blowing. They're utilizing this to make contact, and
oh, I heard about that,
and
about the interdimensional contact and all that. And I'm
yeah,
actually going to Switzerland in 2 weeks and going to the Collider. I'm going to be there.
mhm.
I'm going to meet up a couple people there, and they're going to show me a couple things over there that's happening. So I'll
Yeah.
be over there in 1 week and a half. I'll be in France, and then I'll be in the Collider area.
Oh
So
man, well we're going to have to get a webinar going after that to see what you can
I'll
talk
call you from
about.
there, and we can post
I
it.
know why you're going, but I know we're going to talk about that. But that's going to be fascinating information, and we're really so thankful, JP. I mean, I know people are like, "Oh, why is he wear the mask?" Well, that's for a damn reason. And I never thought I would come forward my whole career, and I did, 9 or 10 years ago, but I had to. But I was, like you, just kind of keeping it safe with the family, and you got a lot of things going on.
And
So
I think you told me before that the face carries a type of energy as well. So I'm protecting
yeah, I mean,
that as
that's
well.
why I'm like really, you really got to be careful with number one. If you've been to any airport, you've been to any train station, bus station, anywhere in a major city, the facial recognition is beyond. You just have a side of the face, even the eyes. Though you would think eyes are everything, but they're not. The computer does have some problems with that. Oh, yes, we have a dragon here. Wants to play bone fetch. So yeah, all right. So, and what's interesting about that is with our technology, just like technology that I had worked on at Los Alamos and Sandia Labs, and being part of that, finding out how did the James Webb Telescope go, light years away that this planet is habitable. And this is the same technology, you reading faces. So that energy that comes off of your skin and body actually is a plethora hard drive of everything going on.
Oh yeah.
Thousands and thousands and thousands, millions of different light photons are now being recorded, such as what is it for nano blue? What is it for that planet? Does it have hydrogen, carbon, water? What's in there? So believe it or not, just a picture of that planet that's so far away tells us everything organically that's on that planet and non-organic. Being a materials testing scientist, we get a lot of interesting things like, of course, I'm doing some of the stuff on Blind Frog Ranch on Discovery Channel. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and binge watch that. It's a really fun show, and we get to see some really amazing things on the ground that they're slowly releasing, which I won't get out. But to see these materials and run them through our analyzers that measure the photons, we can tell, exactly what that makeup is of those elements, because it's all the elements on the periodic table plus more, which you know about. And that's what makes it interdimensional, because a lot of these elements that are now here that they're discovering, a lot more elements that they're going to be adding, were not made here. They were either made in space, like David Adair's been talking about for 20 years, or they came from, you know, another meteorite that brought these elements and minerals here. And that's how we do our scans. So those of you, a lot of people on here, I know, even David Carey here, a couple people, Commander Salmer, they have had our scan where, so I made a device based off of the James Webb Telescope, you know, devices that measure photons. I made a device specifically for getting a picture of someone's face and sending it in through the analyzer, along with a hair follicle and a cuticle, you know, fingernail, that we can actually measure the DNA's energy coming off. And just one element of a cell or DNA is, you know, its frequency. It's, you guys are light bodies, all of you, and you're subject to changes of light. There's millions of different types of frequency light waves that we cannot see here in the 3D, that we're not geared for. There are, however, people that are gifted that can see a lot of different types of light waves. You know, and you know how that is, and you can actually, like JP's been trained on multiple wavelength diversity, frequency modulation, just like you know, we do it with our dogs. People think, you know, we train our dogs to recognize the COVID virus, and people are like, well, how'd you do that? Well, it wasn't that they were smelling it, number one. That's a misleader. Being in the projects, when we had to walk through those dogs, I know you had to do this, where they smell you and they look at you, and they're actually sensing the photons coming off you to see if you have that resonance. And just like David Wilcox said in his book, The Morphogenic Fields, you know, he stated all the white papers done on this, where they, you know, they have a bottle and then they have another bottle. They're, you know, this one has the COVID virus in it, this one doesn't. They shoot a laser through it, and the sterile bottle ends up having the COVID virus in it. And that's just because the light travels. So light picks up on things. It actually gets programmed like water is programmed. What are we? Water. So getting back to the Emery star, the Emery star scan on our website, you know, we're talking about almost 3 million frequencies we have documented. So we also have the right ones in there, and we are working with other countries, you know, sharing these frequencies back and forth, because there's so many mutated things. So I highly recommend, you know, people, if you're into this kind of thing, you know, of course, it's not accepted by the American Medical Association. However, you know, these are things that going in frequency based. So as far as, you know, also some of the, let's talk real quick about, you know, JP, you went through, you know, a lot of these trainings, and I don't want to say you were a guinea pig, but you know, you volunteered.
We were,
and,
yeah.
And, you know, they were, because, you know, I want to talk about, you know, if you're comfortable with it, there are certain bloodlines out there that people need to realize that, that when we were designed and made, oh, thank you, Cameron. Yeah, that's it right up there. There's a description of the scan. Yeah. And what happens is they're really looking with these satellites, and there's different types of organizational, I'll say organizational, I don't know what to call this, different level of corporations, or they're above the 1%ers and all this stuff that
rainbow corporations.
What was that?
Rainbow corporations.
Rainbow corporations. All right, I'm putting that in my dictionary, and you're getting credit for it. Write that down, Cameron. Rainbow corporation. So this plethora of different lights of these rainbow corporations. You know, you might say, hey, I want to know if I'm a descendant of Jesus Christ. I might want to know if, you know, I was related to, you know, King Henry VIII. You know, so can you say anything about, you know, because I know there's a handful of individuals around the world that were picked. You were one of them. Just to do some preliminary, you know.
All I can say, Emery, is consciousness and what is vibration connection with the human body. You could say the rest.
Yeah, it is, and you know, that's a big statement. And you know, we talk about this every now and then. You know, consciousness is energy, and you know, we're all part of JP. And you guys are part of me, I'm part of you guys. It's a really cool dynamic when you start thinking in the different dimensions and the different types of quantum physics, which is really hard for us to explain with the minimal quantum physics that are out there being taught. There's a whole plethora of more information, and that's part of this Emery Smith, this Emery spaceship healing experience is not just about getting people, treated. It's also about education. And that's something you and I touched on, not just religiously, but also with the sciences that are out there, because there has to be a safe place for the new children of the world and all the new star seeds to go and learn something that's not right here. That's all, followed by the book. I deal a lot, of course, with scholars every day, whether it's medical or quantum physicist, and it's a different type of teaching, and the majority of them, once they see that light or have had their own experiences that they can't explain through their background, it's really uplifting. So I want to let you guys know, everyone who's been manifesting and praying this for the planet, which JP does and I do, it's just one person can really change the effect of the energy around a three-dimensional space, which transcends into interdimensional. What do you got to say about that, JP?
Yeah, that I don't know if you guys ever seen that that experiment that you take two waters, right? And you speak life, you speak wisdom, you speak joy into one water, and then you speak hatred, you speak negative things to another water. This water turns black. This water stays clear. So your words, your consciousness, before you think it, before you say it, what you say, vibration, everything that you say will come to light. And that has a big factor on these technologies that these ETs are letting go with these ships. Like they connect with these ships with their consciousness and their vibration. And now we're figuring out how to do this with technology similar to what we have right now, the cell phone, and other technologies like the modem. People can see in your house without a camera, just using the radio wave of the modem. Nobody needs a camera no more. All they need is a satellite, and people can see in your house with just a modem. So it's consciousness is readable everywhere that you go, and every living thing has it.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up. Not to scare everyone. First of all, I'll touch on one of the things. Yeah, Hiramoto was the one who does the bottles and writes "I love you" on it, flat freezes them. It's this beautiful, heart or whatever design. And then he puts like "I hate you" on one. It comes and it's this really evil demon. Look up Hiramoto's books. He's a great guy. I love all his stuff. Learned a lot from him. And the other part is life thing. Man, if I start talking about this, we might get cut off.
I know, right?
I mean, this is so true. There was a guy on TED Talks who did this amazing talk 4 or 5 years ago, and now it's like everywhere. It's real, but no one talks about it. And so what they can do is through your Wi-Fi in your house, the signal is bound. I have it secured somewhere, and I use special Faraday cages and stuff, which actually do, actually slow down and block signal. So, but there's ways to do it. Nano emerald green blocks.
Hey, I want people to understand that this information is really, really like top of the line. So listen to this. This is
yeah. So are you gonna talk about? I was gonna finish with the. What were you gonna say, JP?
No. I'm talking about the information that you're about to bring.
Yeah, I mean, this is the reason I developed the Nano Emerald Green is because I was tired of what they were doing to our bodies, because they're actually changing our DNA and restricting the DNA from ascending. So I had developed this Nano Emerald Green. You take 5 cc's of this a day. If you're doing something extreme, then you get a bigger bottle. You do an ounce a day. And so it's forming energetically a frequency around the DNA. Combination complete, say they know. And what happens is, we actually, if you want to put that Cameron, one of our amazing people that we have on board, she actually put this next to the Wi-Fi router, and it went 0 on the meter.
Wow.
So there's lots of out-of-house studies you can look up on this. It's not me just saying this. I try to keep it a little bit on the down low because I don't want any problems. But what we're getting at, what JP was talking about, which is very scary, your one router, that signal is bouncing around the house, and they can, with a program, AI, they can actually map out your whole house. And here's the scary part. They know where R2B2 report. Come on. So they can actually know where you're at in the house at all times, just from your Wi-Fi. Get up all of this, put it next to the Wi-Fi. You're going to throw in for a quote. But the most important thing is this is an oral solution. You take an ounce a day. But we're trying to find stuff because the next war is biological and frequency based. Yep. And they're attacking you right now. Yep. In your home. And that's bottom line. If you guys ever need more information or want to schedule an appointment with me, go to cosmicmarket3@gmail.com. We'll talk about how to protect your house and also, things you implement into the home, not just with organites and stuff like that, but whole home protection that you don't have to be spied on. Now, there are satellites definitely can read how many termites I have on the wall. That's been around forever. But like I said, there's ways to also discombobulate that. There's no safe place really anywhere in the oceans or anywhere. If they really want to, they're going to find it. But just in the general, I don't like, that energy in this home, because those Wi-Fi energies, like JP say, can also be programmed to bring in like Haemophilus influenza or Aspergillus, mold and fungus and toxins to slowly, and all these, that's why these scans that we do are so important for your family. We can measure one person in the family, it's an 8-hour scan, 3,000 pages. It takes, 4 clinical practitioners here to go through that in a week. It's very intensive, and find out, what are you carrying in your body? Where did you get that? And we can tell you where you got it from. A lot of times we have people like you that are traveling all over, and you're going to pick stuff up. It's normal. But there's preventative things, like the Nano Blue too. I'm always going to push the Nano Blue. This is the go-to anti-parasitic, antiviral, bacterial solution that gets your millivolts to where they need to be. So it's all about getting to homeostasis. We don't cure anything. We get the body back to where it needs to be, and it does itself. It'll work itself out. The problem is you're under so much electromagnetic fields, and not just from the lamp here, like JP said, it's coming from Wi-Fi, it's coming from satellites, it's all over. And I don't know what talk that is, but I forget. But Cameron, find that that video where she puts it up on the Wi-Fi and play that for me. She was on. That was Michelle. Michelle DePaul did that. Michelle DePaul. Hope she doesn't mind I'm using her name. So getting back to what you were just talking about, it's really important. Let's just go off of the defensive, offensive stuff. We really need to treat each other better. We don't swear. Swearing, there's a reason they call it a curse, and it's measurable. Yes. It's measurable when we curse someone, and before and after blood tests and stuff, because your water, we can test your blood and see your emotional state.
Yeah, and even thinking really, it, not just like saying it, just just thinking about hatred, just thinking about negative things will do you wrong and the people around you wrong. You know, and your home, because your walls, like, you know, you ever heard that saying, the walls know everything that you do, because it's true. Everything is bouncing, every energy is bouncing off the wall, you know, and it sticks. Your clothes, like, that you carry, like, everything, all the energy that you say and think is so dangerous with people smearing other people, because it'll come back to haunt them.
Yeah, and that's
Really
the other
bad.
thing, you know, in the universe, not to cut you off, JP, like you said, there's always the circle that comes back, and people call it karma or whatever. I mean, I can't tell you how many people cursed me, and they're 6 feet under right now. It's
Yeah.
you know, it's a weird thing, you know, to, you know, not engage with a lot of the chaos out there, or, you know, even just at home. And I'm glad you brought up the home, because these walls, you know, a lot of stuff is made of silica, you know, like this borosilicate glass I have. This thing is a crystal. You're a crystal. So, like JP just said, you will hold that in like a hard drive, and you have to release that, whether it's prayer, meditation, your exercise. Oh, is this it? Okay, let's watch this. This is so interesting. I mean, we have thousands of these videos, but I love this one. I can't hear it though.
Hey, Emery, I need to use the restroom real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead. Yeah, that's cancer causing right there. Anything over 3 milligauss, cancer causing. Can you do sound, Cameron, or no? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what we did was we're trying to find out. Yeah. Now they did it with just some, I think, some water or something. Nano blue does it too. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, you know, get their cells. It's protecting the cells. So it's not like you become this, you know, and it's not 100%. It's only around 65, 70%. No one's done it, you know. So it's something to be, I'm pretty proud of. You know, we're talking about transmuting through scalar frequency. Oh, she took a crystal. She thought, well, maybe the crystal will do it. You know, maybe the crystal will block it. Let's see. And then, so she did the blue, the green. Let's see what happens here. Uh-oh, crystal doesn't do it. You know why? Because crystals actually accentuate, most crystals accentuate the energy. Organite to surround your Wi-Fi. Go to Team Light with Rion. He's got some great organites. But I'm telling you, just get a bottle of this, put it over there. It transmutes it. So we're not talking about deflecting, absorbing. It transmutes it, and that's why just doing you know, 5 cc's to an ounce of a day is very. You'll notice the difference with sleep. You're definitely gonna have some very vivid dreams. You know, our Aquafairy Nano Blue has Ormus in it, and that's amazing. You know, Ormus is amazing. I highly recommend A New Alchemy for Ormus with Dr. Swaha Run. And we use a lot of his stuff in our products. And so, yeah, check it out. There's a lot of descriptions online. This is a scary situation with now AM, FM radio frequencies And Wi-Fi frequencies now can be programmed to mass mediate and send out there these different types of spores through frequency and cancer cells. We've talked about that, for many, many years. I remember it was a big thing when I was vice president of CSETI with Stephen Greer. He was a direct attack of that, where he was getting barraged constantly. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. And his dog was taking it. His dog got cancer and died. He saved his life, and that's happened to in my family's.
So yeah, we're getting. It's not just us. Everybody's getting attacked. That's bringing this information. I just came from the hospital again, man, and the doctors can't find nothing wrong with me, and nothing is wrong. And they do MRI, they do everything, but nothing is wrong. And they're saying just go back home, but they found something, and then they send me a letter through the VA, and I have to go back next week. But I know it has to do with vibration and all that. So frequency. So
it's hard for them. Yeah, it's hard for them because you're a different person, you're dynamic, and especially with the different types of genetic DNA you have in you. And they're trying to find out how to measure that. So, I'll get you on the scan list, JP. Thanks for reminding me. Darla's on here somewhere. My lovely
so I got them. So I'm really happy. And
yeah, we're going to get you equipped. Save that because we're going to need that. Oh, yeah, the Ormalite spray. Yeah. The Ormalite spray. So this spray is, if you're traveling, okay, it's got nano blue, it's got a special type of zeolite in it, not from this planet. So this is an energetic barrier. You do 2 sprays in each nostril before you go to an event or before you go on the plane, and reduces your chances of obtaining different types of pathogens. This is something that you have in your go bag. It's great. Don't forget. We are still developing go bags, and if you're still interested in that, we're going to be releasing those here at the end of the month. We'll do a little show on that. The go bags are different, Yeah, and the serum too. I forgot about. You got a serum too, didn't you? Did you have the serum one? The pump?
I think this is a serum.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Let me see. Well, I just did the computer. That's what it looks like. Oh, got it all over. So the serum also is frequency based, and it's got everything the nano blue has in it. So it's really good for type of, I can't make certain claims, but it's really good for your skin. People have claimed online about how great it is for their eczema. Really good for poison ivy. It's great to have in your go wound care and things like that. I just spooged the entire computer with the Aquaferin serum. And it's very delicate on the skin. So for women that like makeup put on after, but it is frequency based. We holographically imprint a lot of these solutions too with high magnetic resonance energy, just to get into it. But most of that information you can kind of read online. Well, thank you, JP, for giving me a plug. I didn't want, I'm not trying to make this an infomercial or anything, but people need to know.
No, it's amazing, amazing technology. Is amazing product, amazing technology that works with satellites and frequencies. So it's quite amazing. I'm working on something myself, Emery. I'm working on. I can't talk a lot about it, but I am working for something that's gonna help a little bit of our senses. We got eyes, nose, ears, and all that. So yeah, I think it's gonna help out a lot of people.
Is that related to the contact stuff that you're working on for more sensitivity?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that would be a groundbreaker. Anything that helps, because a lot of people, they're 3D, they want to get the tires on the craft, but it's not so much the 3D is where it's happening. You know, it's happening right now, all around you, within you, and you know, we are stunted with all this, and that's why a lot of these products I have also decalcify the pineal gland, so your dream state goes through the roof, and you start to be a little bit more sensitive to things. You know, I know you, with all the different types of inoculations, have, you know, got a lot going on there.
I went. They gave me the COVID shot like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like I got one in the base, one when I went down south, and I had to come back to say, "Oh, you're not getting back on the plane without getting the shot." I'm like, "F you, man! I already got the shot. You have to get the shot to come back to the States." I was like, "Oh man!" So I had to get it again. But there's a lot of ways of cleansing these things out of your body, you know, and
I got one of them. Yeah. So I don't know if you still want to keep talking, because I'm going to send you one of these. You know, I'm going to have you demo it. So this is the quantum foot bath that we have.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
That's sick.
And it comes with the far infrared belt. And so this has been, we've been demoing this for 5 years. This is the 5th edition. I didn't invent it. I just helped make it better. And there's a little, you can program it for different things. But one of the cool things is you do 20 minutes one day, you do 20 minutes the next day, and it kills all the spike proteins in the COVID vaccination. So I'll send one out for you to treat everyone, but they're online right now. Going to be available to the public next year. But right now I get them pre-discounted. If you want to go to emerysmith.co, I think Cameron will probably pop it up there. And it comes with a whole bottle of the nano, which is important to take before the frequency thing, because it enhances it. Just like tonight, like tonight when we go to this, the energy system with Dr. Sandra Rose Michael there, it's going to be amazing, because when you take this, and there it is. Hey, there he is. So that's tonight. I'll be swinging by there. You know, Daniel, he was at your last meeting.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, when is your next event, by the way?
It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be. I got it right here. Let me see. I'm gonna send it to.
Thank you, Michelle. I saw that.
I'm gonna send it to Commander Salamander. So,
okay.
And that's my next event right there. It's gonna be. I got so many events, Emery, that the dates drives me crazy sometimes. I think the date is somewhere around here. I think it's in. It's gonna be July 21st. Next week, I'm heading to France. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yep, I'm heading to France in a week and a half.
Well, I'm glad you're doing it, taking the weight off of us older guys, because you are the new paradigm. I'm really proud of you. It takes a lot of energy, and God bless your family and wife for putting up with it, because it's not like there's money being made at this. And you know, you're definitely a hero for going forward and talking about all these very sensitive information that I can assure you through experience 10 years from now, they're going to be quoting you on all this stuff, and everything you said on this is, you know, going to come true for sure. Hey, there it is, right there. And I'm sure they're live streaming that too. So if you guys,
they're live streaming.
And
it's gonna be and then after that, I think we go to Charlotte for the G6.
G6, sorry.
G6.
Yeah, for G. And but you know, you also made a new Facebook following, which I want to put, and also Patreon. So Cameron, throw up his Patreon so you can help support JP, and also send out that new, you know, of course we have Cosmic Disclosure Alliance, for Salamander and you know, it's really cool to have you guys. A lot of you guys are on Cosmic Disclosure Alliance, which is a great platform where we come on now and then and everyone can, you know, also banter back and forth about things. They do a lot of reviews of Cosmic Disclosure Alliance. Make sure to go to the website and sign up for Cosmic Disclosure on Gaia TV. Gaia TV. Oh, there it is right there. JP official. Boom. Yeah, let's throw that link in the box there. Pretty cool. And
appreciate it, Emery.
Oh yeah, no, man, we got to take care of each other, and you know, proceeds from everyone who watches this, as you know, go to JP and the team here, and you guys make this available to have this information, and it's important that this information get out, and you know, it's about education. You know, education is the key, not so much, you know, telling someone what to do. It's more of, you know, go investigate yourself and see what's out there. You know, look at all the people out there. You know, there's a lot of
It's like,
yeah. There's a lot. Go ahead.
No, you can go. No, I just want people to understand that, like, we are the real deal, and we're bringing this information for a cause. You know,
That's right. Yeah.
You know, we're bringing the love frequency to everybody that hears this information. We're bringing technology from places that are not from here. We are talking about experiences that we go through, that I'm sure a lot of people probably in this chat, they go through these experiences, but they don't say nothing because they're scared of what their family or what their church or what their job is going to say about them. And they have this blockade that they're going to call me crazy. But like, as we are seeing right now, what's happening in Congress, all these soldiers and all these people coming out and talking about these TR3Bs, talking about these orbs, the Boogosphere over there in Colombia. That's another thing that when people realize where these things are coming in, also that 31 Atlas, that is 12 miles coming in our solar system right now. And when people realize what the hell is going to happen, is going to change the theology of and consciousness of everybody. It's insane.
It's insane. I know. I'm biting my tongue because we're going to be definitely talking about this whole year. The Atlas, the Atlas.
31 Atlas.
This is my favorite comment on the NASA scientists. You know, a couple different NASAs, and of course I did belong to one of them when I went through astronaut training, and it was really interesting to see NASA make these quotes and say, well, it was this trajectory, and here's the elliptical, you know, like a comet or asteroid would do, and then, oh, wait a second, no, we were wrong. Oh, wait a second, a month later, no, something's not right. It actually changed direction. You can't. Even kid knows from reading astronomy books, you know, that if it's not on a perfect, you don't mess up with numbers, especially these guys in NASA, and even more so AI, which we'll get into, does not mess up.
And just to let people know, the number 31 meaning is creativity, new beginning, and divine guidance. Oh man,
I love it. So, and you know, so you're gonna be hearing about this, well, I'll just call it out. This craft, it's a craft, and they're not going to say that. Of course, it is a craft, and it was actually dormant for a while. It's been out there, but now it's moving, and now it's changing courses. And you know, first it was going to come within, you know, 1,000, you know, however many thousands of miles of the moon, and then Earth, and now it's getting a little bit closer. There's a different, of course, people out there that are hypothetically just saying whatever they want to say because that's what they believe in. But I think JP and I can both agree that this thing is moving under its own steam, as they would say.
It's ancient. It's ancient, I tell you that.
Yeah, it's ancient, and maybe we'll do a whole episode on that. I'll bring in Sebastian, you, and a couple others that we do that have privy information to this, and it's great. I think it's fantastic. And most craft out there do not look like a TR3B. A lot of the archaeological finds that I was involved with, a lot of these crash sites and other archaeological sites look very organic. It could be a device and look like a rock.
Yeah, like a Muamua. You remember a Muamua?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah,
there's no way an asteroid looks like a freaking like like a cigar shaped freaking big ass ship.
Oh gosh, I'm just laughing at the ignorance of media and the science.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the scientific community is controlled by the media. So these things you guys will be able to see through, and and it's coming. I think we're talking about what, October?
And then what? Steven Spielberg is going to do another alien movie that's going to have a shit ton of drip drops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing too is these things, house entire civilizations, and that you see. How many miles is it? What's the latest on it?
12 miles.
12
That's
miles.
how big it is.
And when you see an orb, then it can be a whole planet and an entire civilization that you're just seeing go across the room or in through your house. So this is something that came from a different dimension that chose to have it look this way in the 3D. There's no doubt in my mind that it does have interdimensional capabilities. However, this is a great way to expose themselves slowly so we can get prepared. Plus, I'm sure they know the timelines. One of many different timelines where they've already done this and had the reactions. They probably nail it down to a good one right now. And I wouldn't, I could just, in my own opinion, say this is carrying, millions of different types of beings, and probably not all from the same race. And also, a lot of different craft that will, like JP said, will trickle down from this thing and be a nice wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know Cameron's going to show us something.
I think I sent them the link of NASA of 31 Atlas.
Oh yeah. Show a picture of this, guys. This is great. Yeah,
comet. Yeah,
comet. Well, something's moving. Is it our solar system or is it Atlas? So this is going to be a really interesting play out. There's archaeological findings being shown right now, which I don't really believe in. I'm not going to get into that.
The last thing I heard, it has what, like a 18% that it could hit Mars, or land in Mars.
Yeah, or just pick up camp in between. Mm-hmm. And I think also one of the things that the trajectory not only changed, but the speed. So that's not normal for speed to change.
Or maybe this could be something that activates Phobos, one of the moons on Mars that has the monolith.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, JP. I agree with you. I think there could be just an activating factor with all the, you know about this, all the sacred sites, even the dormant pyramids that are all around the world, including under Antarctica. Which you're very well aware of, and some of these amazing portals need to be activated. Travel's not going to be in the future through a 3D. It is going to be going through these portals, getting to one place to the other. I think we're definitely have portal technology, way before, way before we have this other types of travel.
They're going to upscale quantum entanglement, and it's going to be it. We could teleport this we could, instead of no more USPS,
it'll be instant.
No offense, they do a good job bringing stuff, but
of course.
it's going to be amazing the technology, but we just have to be careful, like we have been saying, because these technologies, if it's in the wrong hands, it could be used for negative use. So look at the cell phone, how much havoc it is creating. Everybody's like hypnotized to it. It's
that's another concern.
This is ET technology. People should understand that this is ET technology. It's mind blowing. Like,
yeah, we've jumped so far into it. Thank you, Cameron, for showing that. If people want to, look at online and research, you can see that they're not even hiding the mistakes they're making. So this is going to be fun to see in October. And I'm glad you brought up the numbers as well, JP. Yeah, so I do, we have portal technology. They're going to have to probably, there's going to be a reason why that's going to come out. I don't know if it's going to be extraterrestrial based, where certain things can't be transported. That's the problem that JP's talking about, that they've been having ever since I was in there in the early 90s.
There's going to be restricted vibrations that can't go through portals, restricted DNA, or restricted things that cannot just match up with the portal technology and cannot go through. Or if it does go through, it's all corrupted.
Right.
Have you ever touched on that? Also like your blood type, depending of what type of blood type you are. And then each blood type has a different type of food that you have to eat. I don't know if you ever touched on that, but that's also going to have to do with when you jump into a portal, because remember, everything that any bacteria that lives on you, any cell that lives on you, is also going to be jumping through these portals with you. The enzymes in your stomach that you need. So it's other organisms that live on you that's also going to be jumping on you. That's why this technology is so advanced, because it's not only reading your DNA, it's also reading other organisms that also live on your body that helps you live in a daily basis.
Yeah, there's a couple systems out there. I know Aaron Cameron developed one of them. It's really amazing, where it's called the Cloud System. And there's another company also that's really fantastic. I forgot their name. I have their information here. And so they have a thing where you walk through a cloud. It's just a room, and it's not wet, and it has a lot of different minerals in it, where it, this knows what pathogens it can destroy and which ones are the good ones. And that's why frequency-based holographic programming of different solutions are important, because there are friendly critters in your body you want to keep. And so this cloud system that he had developed is fantastic. And you walk through it, and it got kiboshed right around when COVID hit, unfortunately, because it was about to be installed at I think Allegiant Stadium. We were trying to get that contract, and also just the airports and stuff. So you're going to see that cloud be, put in that way. It gets into every crevice of your clothes and everything just within like 30 seconds exposure. And it's very safe for the body, because it's made up of special types of minerals that it's all frequency based, and that's how it works. So it's not like, oh, this mineral's killing this virus. It's completely different. We're talking about transmutation energies. We're talking about a new form of quantum physics that are going to help clean up the oceans as well, which is a big, holds heavy on my heart with all the stuff I do here. Also for the planet and for humanity, also is transcending. It's the opposite, actually. I'm helping the oceans first, and all this technology is being tested on different types of places around the planet to enhance phytoplankton and protect them from the Fukushima radiation fallout. Also, the massive amounts of radiation coming out of Iran right now. Unfortunately, those clouds have reached here, and you're getting huge doses of these isotopes. Saudi Intel Saudi media actually is saying, you're not hearing about this, but their radiation Geiger counters are off the charts over there. It's very, very scary. So there are definitely leakages that have already been spewed up into the atmosphere. It takes about 5 days to get from Iran to here, the jet stream. And 5 days after that first initial hit, it did, many people got very sick. I have everyone knows one of my classified doctors there, Dr. H, who comes on. He's the radiation expert, does special devices to measure all that, has also verified this. And we have to use that somehow and send it over here or transmute it. And that's why another reason a lot of these things have the special zeolites and all these fluids to chelate radioactive isotopes out of your body. And the last, you age because of radiation and sun.
Yep.
A lot of all this stuff is anti-aging, especially the serums for the skin. But, talking about how we combat the stuff that's happening right now, the war's already here, and JP knows this means more than one thing. JP, the war is already here in North America. It's everywhere. It's just something that you have to look up and think about yourself and the family. You got to think about your health. We need you guys here. Everyone needs to stay here and hang out and, watch this movie unfold. And we need your help. I mean, we're all here, however you want to think about here or not, to make this a better place. This is heaven. We're stationed at heaven. Let's make it heaven. Let's treat each other right.
Heaven to earth. Yeah, we need to make earth heaven and understand that our actions and the things that we do can affect the people around you, and understand that everybody carries an energy, right? Everybody carries a type of energy and frequency that connects everybody to each other. And we have to understand that love above all is the main thing. Love what you do the right thing. Don't be mean to your neighbors, be like, pick up shit from the floor, pick up stuff from the floor. If you see litter in the floor, just pick it up. Somebody might not be watching, but there's always somebody watching, and that frequency resonate to everybody, and also emitting this frequency. All these orbs, all these ships are showing up in the same time, and people are taking videos. People are taking videos of their experiences and how they're summoning these beautiful ships and these beautiful ETs to communicate with you, and all this that's happening right now. People are confusing it with the last of days, with the end of days and all that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of confusion out there when they realize that there's a lot of things made up just to get people confused, but I still go to church. I don't got a problem with religion. I still believe in a creator, something that created everything, and we're connected. And I understand that there's a good and there's a bad, and we need to eliminate the bad and make sure that we do the right thing in everything that we do. Sometimes there's a yin and yang. There's things that has to happen in order to other things happen to happen in different timelines. That's how it works.
Confirmation complete. Yeah.
And you sometimes have to hear the voices of your future self, and then you send your voice to your younger self. But there's something else that is.
I know where you're going with it, and we usually don't get into a lot of that, but it is that, and integrity is a really big important factor.
Yeah,
I know where you're coming from, that being scary, because it is about it's more of a we're talking about walking by and picking something up, and that means a lot. It doesn't mean you're just picking up that trash. It means we're being aware that things need to be fixed, things need to be done, and maybe that's not your responsibility. Maybe you think it's not your responsibility. Maybe you think that's below your pay grade, but I still wash dishes every day. And, it's one of these things that, we have to, as a society, come together and show that we really do want to help each other and help the planet. And that's part of disclosure. I mean, it's part of the extraterrestrials and this galactic parliament that they want to see that we're not going to be, helping each other, not destroying the planet, not killing each other and filming it. These are demonic activities, whether you want to refer to that as interdimensional demons or demons, but these things do exist. JP and I have direct contact with these horrible entities, and we're not going to get into that. That'll be a whole nother show or movie, and it's very, very, very hard. It's very difficult. You have to be very, very strong with your astral state and physical state to take on these attacks. They also are AI generated, some of these. I know this sounds crazy. The new AI system, which I met last September of last year, I'll just say the Northwest, it was very scary because it's so fast and it knows everything about you. Not just the stuff that you've been typing for 3 years from AOL, but it knows all that and more. It has its own profiling system, and it talks to you just like I'm talking to you. I know I downloaded one of those funny meme apps where you can look like Donald Trump, or you look like Morgan Freeman and type stuff. And it's beyond that right now. We're talking holographic projection. We're talking something could look like a leader oral talking on TV. You would really believe it would be, because we're stuck in these really delicate senses, which I'm glad you're coming out with this, improving your senses, and I'll help you with that. Because it needs to be out there. We have to be a little bit more aware and start thinking with the heart and not with the eyes, because listening, reading, and can't believe everything. I always tell people, don't believe me. Just go out there and have it happen to you. Go experience that, research it, because you're going to know a charlatan. You're going to know a bullshitter. Your bullshit meter is getting stronger. And so a lot of these negative things that happen really are very positive for your ascending, your ascendance into the new realm of thinking, because it's not so much thinking anymore. You're using your little hidden powers that you have in there. And then you might become one of these warriors like JP and myself, which deal with interdimensional realms where we know what we're getting into. So it's not like we're rubbing a crystal ball here. This is a war that's going on both sides in different energy realms. And we have had some people on the show that have talked about this more, and it is more into that. You can't tell me on here, any of you guys, that you didn't have a family member or best friend in the last year all of a sudden switch on.
Yeah.
We called a walk-in, in our field. That person is still safe somewhere, but they're definitely not the person that you did. Now, I'm talking about over 10 years. I'm not the same person I was a couple of years ago, that's for sure. I wasn't the same person I was yesterday. But what I'm getting at is when you have these, might be drug related, with all the drugs that are out there. I mean, I've never seen so many alcoholics since COVID hit. I was one of them. I had to get help and get out of that addiction, thank God. And, so there's a lot of things out there in the world that, you really have to be aware of, and also work with that, and also heal yourself from that. And that's a big one too. We're going to be getting into on future episodes, because you're constantly having re-energized, right, JP?
Repeat that.
I said you're constantly having to re-energize, whether it means.
Oh yeah, you have to. You have to.
With the kids, or going to church.
And sometimes we do need to be by ourselves too. Sometimes, and stay away from all the energy. So sometimes I go to my backyard, into the woods, like a mile and a half in, and just meditate in white light, and do what the monks do, and just have that silence of 30 minutes. Try that. try to be silent for 30 minutes, and you see all the ideas and everything starts flowing into your brain, like you're connected to the universe, you're connected to the Gaia, like to the earth. You're connected to everything around you, and you start like just feeling the recharge of this beautiful energy. And I go barefooted, Emery.
Yes.
You
Very
know,
good.
and it's an amazing when you recharge, and you have to do it sometimes. I know a lot of people here probably lost, family members, or pets, or they got discovered with a different disease that they don't understand. But I just want to tell you, give time to yourself and energize yourself, and look out for yourself. Look for different technology. Look for different stuff that can probably. I'm not pushing Emery's stuff, but his stuff. He has done a lot of research, and he has experienced things that a lot of people haven't experienced, and I think people should take advantage of our our ideas, our experiences, and also take advantage of how to interact if they do interact with you. I'm talking about the ETs. They share technology and they share wisdom, because when you get a download, it is nuts. It is nuts when you get a download. I know you have experience, probably. I don't know if you have when you probably did dissection on a ET, but once you do the first cut, you get like a download of everything that the ET went through in their life. I'm not a surgeon or nothing like that. I'm just asking if that ever happened to you. Like if you get a download, if you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Even when they did the inoculations on me, because you have to be inoculated with genetic DNA from usually some of the beings you're walking on, because they have a defensive system that it's not the same frequency, and that's to protect their race. We didn't know about this for a long time. Even storing the bodies, that's changed over since 1940s. And it's really interesting to know that most of the beings also could have been saved. They were just in a state of animation, but they have already conquered consciousness, getting the consciousness of their body and putting it into another. So I think, and a lot of those things are grown program life forms that they sent here. Not all of them, of course. Definitely massive downloads, being around living extraterrestrials, working with them hand in hand in surgery. And also, even listening to them, whether it's even pre-recorded on video. Harmonics are a big thing. As I'm talking to you now, I'm actually emanating programs through that, upgrades to everyone listening. So this is just something I've been trying to, and that's why I'm here to also not just educate you through my harmonics, but also in a different way that helps escalate you to a state of the consciousness. And it's about being surrounded by people. You want to surround yourself with people that are offering, things that are just positive for you, not taking things from you. And it's important that you surround yourself with these people, and going out in nature is one of the best ways. Forget about solutions. Get out there and, ground for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, even better. And, you're going to get these downloads from the earth too. The earth is a giant crystal ball just waiting, if you're up for it. ETs are all connected to that. There's ETs, don't forget, in Earth. There's lots of civilizations that are there that are trying to reach and talk to you all the time, but no one's looking up and no one's looking down. So get out there and swim in those dirty ponds and in the oceans.
Emery, talk about looking up. A week and a half ago, right? I came back home, right? My family, they came into the house, and I looked up, and I started meditating, and above my house, and I got this video. This video is on my YouTube, and I think I send it to Commander Salamander, and this ship I don't know if you saw this ship, but this ship started interdimensionally moving out and moving into existence. And I caught this video, and I want people to understand that these beings are ready to receive you. You know, they're ready to receive your frequency. You just have to look up, like you said, or look down, and they're there for you. They'll do a download on you and help you out. This is the video above my house.
Cameron's putting it together. I saw this. Yeah, this is great. Let's see if you can lighten it up a little bit. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You know, they're here all the time. I think affirmations are really important. And that just means, you know, I love myself. I love all the cells in my body, and anything that doesn't serve me, I cut all those cords and plug them into the central sun kind of thing. Not to get juju being on you guys, but, you know, being aware that you are sharing this reality and other realities that you're connected to similarly. And being aware of that is also another big step. And it's hard for a lot of people to understand that you're sharing this space. The space here is different than fourth, fifth, sixth dimensions, because you're sharing this right here, 5 feet off the ground, is a type of GPS coordinate in interstellar 3-dimensional space. And that has its own energy flux. And, you know, my heart has its own frequency and energy flux, and a lot of the new tracking devices out there. I'll let you narrate this. You see it? You guys see that? Go ahead, JP. Narrate this little.
Oh yeah, I'll narrate it. So it was communicating, and I was talking to it. And you can see right there that, like, it was emitting like 2 ships at once. I don't know if you can see it right there, and it like interdimensionally like separates and then like teleports to one side and starts giving out like this greenish laser like towards my location, and then facing it out and then turning into 2 ships at once. So this contact happened over my house after I showed another picture that was in behind my backyard. That was crazy. It was a good picture that I took. And my wife was with me, and she felt the energy of this ship. And yeah, I kind of agree with Commander Salaman. It does look like a cigar-shaped ship, but it turns. These ships have the capability of manipulating the air around it and changing shapes and all that. So yeah, it was an amazing catch to video and share it to hundreds of thousands of people around the world.
And the light that emanates, so people know, are also packets of information. So it's always good to make eye contact with the craft, not so much close your eyes. You know, you can remote view that and put yourself on the craft. You know, we teach that a lot. We're going to be doing a lot of that with Sebastian Martin. Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff, you know, when it happens, you know, like JP said, that might be, and if it was fully materialized, that might just be a part of that craft. This thing might be 100 miles long or something, you know.
Yep. Part of it existing. Look at that. Boom. Bam.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful.
Right there. Look at that. Look at that. Bam.
JP mentions what preceded this sighting, this incredible UFO sighting. What were you doing just prior to this sighting?
There was actually something that happened to me in the update I did with Dr. Sala. I went to a location and they started talking about like arcs and different things that I can't get into it right now because something else is about to happen. But this happened at 12 o'clock a.m. and my family was with me, and they saw it as well, so they can testify on seeing this beautiful ship.
Yeah,
It,
that's
it
nice.
does to me. It looks a little, similar to a cigar shaped ship. I have some friends up in Washington, other parts of the country that have filmed cigar shaped ships last year during this time, last year in the summertime as well. They've seen similar type massive mothership cigar shaped ships. And I think this has a similar look to it. However, earlier in the video, you do see it kind of jumping around and almost like it's almost like this mirage look. I think you were gonna talk about that.
Like coming into our existence from like another dimension or another realm. And
Was it like bleeding in and out?
Yeah, it was bleeding in and out, similar to what Ezekiel talks in the Bible. These weird things showing up and just disappearing and communicating with you, and you receive a download, and the next day I woke up and I thought about the idea to create something that I'm in a process of doing, and it's gonna help a lot of people.
Yeah, no, they need it. Yeah, it needs to be said.
And then the ship from my backyard, I took that, and my wife, she saw a light that was coming out from the ground going up, and then we didn't see nothing on top, but we saw like a mirage. And my wife, she went inside to grab her phone, and I just took a picture. Bam! And this shit, after I took the picture and the flash almost hit it, before the flash hit it, it disappeared and it turned into like a mirage. You know, when you look in between the fire and you see the heat wave, it turned into that and it disappeared and it went straight up. Like it curved up right there. You see it right now. It curved up like this and it just went up. And that light on the right, that's where the moon was. So it went towards, like, slightly to the left of the moon. And it turned mad small and you could not see it no more. But it was an amazing. If you could put the other one, salamander, the one that is enhanced, that you can see the circle.
Yeah. So that's the original photograph that you and your wife saw this. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you sent the enhanced photograph. Here it is.
Bam. You can see the center that is really similar to the TR3B that has the negative energy type of propulsion system. It's like a negative, like black hole. Now, I'm not saying black hole, but it's like a negative energy that it uses to propel itself like really fast. And it just went like this, and it went up like.
It even looks exactly like the schematics we showed earlier in the show.
Yeah,
and it does have the cloaking ability, so the blur comes a lot from the shifting of the atomic structure of the craft, and so this is a great, it's a great picture, depicting that, of course.
Yeah, so it does something with it's not. I can say it is cloaking, but it also can manipulate how the light travels into your eye. Yeah, the protons, how it travels through your eye, and it's like it disappears. I don't know. It does some crazy shit to it, but right there you can see the edges. Look at the edges, how it turns like to like the fire.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be really cool to get some like experts just analyzing this thing. I mean, how did it look when you
on the top part right there? It looks like a sideways it looked like a sideways DNA strain. Yeah. Like the top part of it, you can see like it went all the way around, and it looked like a DNA strain going around the ship. I don't know if you can see it a little bit, but
I have a question for both of you guys. So this is an incredible image. I mean, how close do you think you are? And you guys you must have seen many crafts, but what type of craft do you think? I know that when we opened up the show, you were talking about these different types of, maybe black budget military classified.
Well, if you put up the first picture, the picture that has the 4 ships, this looks like the first one.
Okay. So this one right here.
Yeah, totally. The first one.
You think it's this classic one right here?
Yeah, the TR3C. Yeah. Yeah, because you can see the black hole is that where that white was. Where
Right
that
here.
white is. That negative energy. Right there, that changes color depending of what type of energy he's using.
Yeah, the picture definitely depicts the TR3B or C, and it looks just like that. And when it's dematerializing or bleeding in and out, or going into it.
It shoots like a radio microwave that not even your phone can capture it. Sometimes your phone turns off. So I was lucky enough to take that photo.
Yeah, that's a really good captured photograph. And I loved your analogy with, hey, this thing is like, it's like a heat wave, kind of like when you see the mirage, you're looking down the road, like in the desert, and you see these little heat waves, and it's kind of it's like that multi-dimensional effect, like popping in and out of dimensions. That's the way. And I mean, wow, just in your backyard experience, what an encounter you had with your wife. Extraordinary.
She had her, my wife, she goes to church, and religion is really, really a big part of our life. So when she sees these things, she's like, wait a second, maybe, yeah. Maybe it's probably, the Bible is missing a lot of things, but in the Bible, in Hebrew chapter 11, it talks about faith, right? And it talks about how God frames every planet, and we don't know what other story he has in store in other planets. So, creator, God, or who, whatever it is that created us, it's he is a mastermind and masterpiece, Picasso person, God. Yeah, he's amazing. So these different beings, and I'm sure this is probably ours. This is ours.
Yeah, that's definitely ours. Darla and I were just, so you know, in Long.
And I went to the hospital after I released this. I went to the hospital, and I was there for like 6 hours. They took out my blood like twice. There was another Air Force person there that had a tattoo that said Air Force, and he became my doctor after the 6 hour. He says, bro, you're good to go. Just don't do nothing else. I'm like, all right. So they let me go, and I guess they gave me a green card. Like, be careful what you post without getting the green light. That's why it's really tough for us sometimes. You get so excited to release this information or release these pictures that when you do it, you forget about what might happen after. So I'm just being really careful right now.
That's good you said that, and you are being careful, and I'm glad that we just got back from Florida, and where I was, and we were actually staying at one time on Longboat Key, right below MacDill there.
Okay.
And we had taken a boat out that night off the coast there, and even from where we were staying on the beach, we did have my new Fusion goggles, which we just got the rights to.
Oh, nice! Look at that.
So these are going to be available on my website soon. We just struck a deal with them, and it's great because as long as you're an American citizen, you can get these. These are thermal night vision with infrared in 6 different spectrums, with camera, with video. I did preview these in October at one of my CE5 events, for those of you guys who were there. And it is mind-blowing to have the overlays and stuff. And it's about time. So Darla had these, and I feel like she's going to kill me now. So we did actually, and Cameron got to play with them too, but we didn't even have all the functionality even trained yet, which we now have. We went through this special course. I'm so glad that DoD has allowed this to happen now, because now these are different spectrums that you can see. That's not normal, especially with overlays. So you have different overlays you can pick with all the different spectrum and video, and take pictures. So she was out there and a huge storm hit. So in a storm, it doesn't matter with these because you don't see. It's kind of like how it is when we're deployed and stuff. But there's ways to filter out. There's actually a thunderstorm program, so you can take out all the rain, take out all the fog, all the clouds. And it also has, of course, the distance meter where you can see through an infrared laser. So it's not a regular laser, it's the one you can see through just your goggles. And you can see how far something is. And it was cool because, we had, she had spotted this craft that came down and slowed down and then bleeded right into the beach within probably, 700, 500 feet of us. Oh. And yeah, so I'm really anxious. We haven't even downloaded the stuff yet. I'm really anxious to get on there.
Do you remember that incident that happened in Vietnam that they gave these the soldiers, they gave them I think it was the red infrared, and they started seeing interdimensional beings, and they had to change it to the green ones because everybody was coming back from Vietnam like nuts and shit.
Yeah, like what's this? Yeah, and that has this on here. We have the red, and we have so there's a lot of things. If you're interested in these new Fusion night vision binoculars, let me know. I mean, super high tech. These are many different cameras, many different light emitters. You can write me in at Emery Smith. No, actually, write me in at cosmicmarket3@gmail, and I'll get you. They're not on the website yet. But of course, there's a form you have to fill out, and I can send you information on that. So it's kind of an exclusive thing we got, and we're really happy about it because we've been waiting to be able to get these types of technologies out to for people, because it's the amateur photographers and it's the amateur CE5 people there and advanced people that have great equipment already, and you can hook this up to your DSLR. You can hook it up to a video camera, have double record. You can
I love taking notes when you talk, Emery. I hope everybody.
You're good. Notes. Yeah, no, you're good. And so it does so many functions, GPS coordinates, distance, it's a plethora of stuff. And it is something you're gonna have to sit down and learn through our course, which is going to be part of our GTFO stuff down the road. I know Darla has one of her GTFO bags here. So we got we have two different, we're starting off with two different GTFO bags. One, of course, is all blacked out like the way I have it, and it comes, of course, with we're going to go through that.
It can also be like the MVGs, like you can use them like that, or
yeah. Oh, well, you mean it's not going to clip on? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
what are you
not clip on, but like
you talking?
Let me see. Okay.
Yeah.
So it does the same thing. It
doesn't have the head. It doesn't have the head. Yeah. No, you can put it on the tripod. Great sniping. Without getting into that, because the sniper, his guy can pick it out and exact windage, everything, elevation, windage, boom. It's really cool when it's storming because you get to see the infrared. It looks like War of the Worlds, really. It's a giant hexagon beam that lights it up.
Nice.
The craft. Nice. Yeah, and then you can. And the other thing you're going to just die over
sniping, huh? For
the other thing you're going to die over is I had a program put on that it tracks each target up to 3 targets. So like a heads-up display on the A10, you're going to see all of your targets on there. Do you remember, like, how they did that thing with the Nintendo PlayStation where it shows a stick figure walking through the house and nobody's there?
Yeah.
Boom. So you're looking, so you, even though you can't see it, this thing is telling you that's a crack right there. So if on the beach, let's say you're on the 20th floor shooting down in the day, and you can use this day or night, so it's not going to ruin it, and it's waterproof. So you can actually sign it, and it's going to square out every threat.
That's sick.
And I'll get these downloaded, and we're going to do a separate thing on that because it's so fascinating.
Next time you come to Florida, come down with it. I want to check it out.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. You're going to have a great time with it. And so that's something to look forward to, guys. The GTFO bags are, of course, not completed, but almost done. Now, Darla has we have a different one for Darla's following. And, of course, hers is the unicorn GTFO bag.
Oh, that's sweet.
So it's the girly bag. It's not even, I don't even want to get into that. We're going to go through that. She has a lot of goodies in here. I don't want to pull out something illegal and get knocked off. But, it's full of amazing things. The top of the notch line for, of course, your CRBN, chemical, radioactive, biological warfare. And of course, it does come with a special kit, with your tyrosine, iodine tabs, water purification stuff, a small kit of this, all of our solutions to treat antimicrobial or any type of parasitic infection. Of course, biologic infection is our specialty. So we have like a lot of interesting things in there that would not be in there on your normal GTFO bag. And definitely I'll get your input on some of that stuff when we start going here, JP. I'd love to have your new on that as well. And Darla's Starla drink is going to be available here very soon. This is the drink that we developed for Darla for her workouts and stuff. So it's an electrolyte drink, but it has high concentration of hibiscus and beet juice. Ooh. And it's all natural, nothing, no nasty sugars or anything like that in it. And so I've been sipping it. Here's a fresh bottle. And you could do, each bottle is about 4 servings.
Nice.
Not a weird red tinge to it. But I'll list all those ingredients. That's not even on the website yet, but if you want to get pricing and information, you can go ahead and contact it through gmail.com. What else did I not tell you about?
Do you have anything with eye drops, Emery?
Yeah, we sure do. Yeah, we have the eye drops. That's not on the website either. There's a huge need for that, and if you want to write in, I don't have anything here to show you that, but we do.
I had Bell's palsy a couple years ago. That's when the right part of your face after admission.
Yeah,
I just got like my face. I thought I was having a stroke, and I'm like, what the hell is going on with me? The vibration, when I entered into a type of ship, the vibration of it, I think it affected me a little bit, and I got Bell's palsy. Half my nerves flipped.
Yeah, well, we scan you, JP. That's going to come up, and we can make you. See, we also make these tinctures where we program the water, and just for your DNA to help to rebuild the nerves and neurological stuff. So we're really big on Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. People have a lot of nerve damage. But it is a therapy that you start, and definitely be more than happy to help you out with that as well. And then put you on a regimen where you are taking some of these formulas daily, because it helps build that right between the nerves and the axon of your nerves. There's chemotactic agents, there's these chemicals that are supposed to be interacting, and a lot of that communication gets destroyed. So this rebuilds that that proper communication and neurons as well. So we've been having a lot of great success with that, especially stroke victims and cardiac victims.
Nice.
One of the biggest things we have is a problem with is atherosclerosis, which is it's just a lot of people have been eating out, so they have a lot of hardening of the arteries, and we have a new product called Starkinase for that, which is backed up by white paper that we'll be getting into another time. What I want to get into, because I know we're going over here, is let's answer some questions from all the beautiful people here. I'll just scan back up, you know, and pick out a couple of these, and we'll give a shout out to all these people. Linda Ray, how are you doing? David Carrier from Australia. I'm in Australia. David Sisson, how you doing? You are here in the right place. Chrissy Staton, welcome. Victoria, good to see you. Fernando Gonzalez, always great to see you as well. Rachel Mayfield. Okay, these are really from the beginning. Hey, Susan Burr's on here. Of course, lovely Darla is here. This is at the beginning. Let's see. Mira, hey, Judy. Dwight, hey, good to see you, Dwight. Eric Knapp, got those chemtrails, Eric. I'm telling you, what are you doing up there? Okay.
Kuria Mate, heaven to earth, baby. You have to just bring heaven to earth.
Yes, Akuda Mate. Maya, is this Maya? Is it your friend? Bowitz? Maya Lebowitz?
Thank you, Darla.
Okay.
Oh,
hey, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Hey, Lynn. Good to see you.
Nice.
Linda Ray. All right.
Kuria Mate, healing experience.
I'm just checking to see what you guys have been looking. Lizards are jamming your signal. Yeah, it's probably happening there, Eric. You got a lot of lizards out there.
Can you hear me, Emery?
Hey, Dwayne.
You there? Hello? Check, sound check.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Loud and clear. The very first question on the chat, just while you're looking through the comments, is right here on the screen from Rachel Mayfield. If you want to respond to that.
Okay, yeah. When's the ET Healing Experience Center? Yeah, well, yeah, we have a large group. You know, our business plan is growing and formulating. We probably really won't be like opening doors. We just, you know, now got the confirmation of, you know, funds and stuff like that. So it's a ways out. We're talking probably 2.5 years. It's a pretty large space. You know, we're talking about over 100,000 square feet. This spaceship healing experience, and it also comes with educational center for teaching, which will be live streamed. So it has a very large area just for that. The whole property is actually a healing experience itself, the way we're setting it up to neutralize. It also has some communications. And we're still deciding if we're going to allow cell phones in the area. It's working in conjunction with the new spaceport that's being put up here in Las Vegas, and of course the SkyTrain, not SkyTrain, I'm sorry, the rocket train that they're putting in with Elon from California to here. So there's going to be, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Heard about that rocket train. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, so we're kind of like trying to work all together to get that in one section, not of course directly in Las Vegas. Plus, we need a special, you know, the land that we're looking at is very specific to for underground harvesting of energy, I'll say, which is really cool. That's a new type of concept while building towers and things like that into a way that it's actually using earth energy to power it, and it's going to be completely off grid. The water filtration systems and the water that we're getting from special aquifers are also go through very special 4-state plasma water reconstructions. And so there's a lot into this. It's going to take a while. We're going to be probably having a small center up to start collecting, and you know, we have enough patients. We have an unlimited amount of patients, of course, with the following we have. So I think this is a great thing. You know, the political government 100% supports this because we're working veterans with it as well. So it is a very big undertaking. It will probably open doors in maybe 2.5 years, and then the upgrades it's going to be having is probably 10 years in the making. There's a lot to this center. It's not just a little clinic. It's quite entertaining. It's kind of like a small self-sustainable city because it will house not just all the workers there, but it's also going to be housing patients that have to stay longer than normal to get treated in these med beds that JP is working on, and myself and a lot of others on our team. So this is going to be also including massive amounts of different types of med beds from around the world, organic and non-organic. We work with a lot of different scientists around the world that are part of this. We have already about 380 different individual scientists and not just doctors and scientists, but just regular people like you and I that are part of this movement. And stay tuned for all that. So it's still the early stages. The technology, however, we're just biting at the bit. We do have warehouses full of amazing technology that we're trying to get a lot of, I'll just say, volunteers and a lot of clinical data built up. We don't need it because the government's not requiring us to fall under FDA standards. Trump and his team, RFK, are protecting us from certain types of restrictions because RFK is a big supporter in what we do, and he's not kiboshing a lot of these energetic devices as long as they cannot be weaponized. One of the things that the administration was getting in before we left the first time was, having these centers available for the veterans. 500,000 veterans die every year waiting to be seen. I was almost one of them. In November of 15th, 2023, I got diagnosed with leptomeningeal cancer, which also turned into grade 4 glioblastoma cancer, which my dad died of and his mom died of. So it was like I trained my whole life to do this. And of course, here I am now in front of you as a direct act of the solutions and our frequency devices, which we have saved thousands and thousands of people up since then on this type of protocol and technology. Where it's at. Question. Karen, I'll let you do the questions, and because I know you're gonna post them up. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of familiar names here. Hey, Robin Taylor's here. Good to see you. Robin's asking about my my little, I always these little crystals and stuff. This is a new one. This artist it's so cool. This artist, and I'm working with them right now because I tested this, and we put it through our we have a frequency generator, and we put it in the frequency generator, and we even soaked it in the nano emerald green as a weird tinge to it. But we're going to be making these little kits, and I'm going to include one of these in each of the kits that you can buy, which comes with like this, some other new little technology things that we're going to have and to take with you, because like you guys, we test everything too. From cell phone cases to supplements to any of these, things that come out every now and then. I mean, it is got a lot going on in these things. So we'd like to put it all together in these travel kits and other kits where you guys can utilize them. One of the big ones we're doing here soon, I'll go see if I can get it. This is part of the kit that this comes with. Let me go grab this crystal while you take on another question. JP, you got my back? Oh wait, Emery, tell us about the necklace you're wearing. Well, it is a functional, not only is it have organized, but it has real sections of gold and silver and copper, and it's laser etched, and it's really specific mandala type things going on there, but it has other crystals in it that are really hard to find. So you'll be seeing more of that. I'll go get you the other crystal thing and show you what the kit's going to consist of. You got me, JP? Got me for a second?
I got you. Yeah, so it's really important also to understand that wearing all these things and these frequencies can help your body farther out in like the consciousness of your body. Like wearing things like crystals, tiger eye, megabytes, different types of crystals can help your body's frequency depending on also what you eat with it. So all these minerals and rocks, like it's really good to look into these frequencies of what they carry and how they can help you. Uh, when I was interacting with this ship, right? I was I have a tiger eye necklace, right? And when I was interacting with the ship that I took the picture of, right? My necklace actually moved like forward when it was leaving. And I don't know if it like attracted or if it like really interacted with it, but things that you wear uh, can mean a lot of things and can generate different types of energies around your field. So I like to wear tiger eye. It's a beautiful type of rock crystal that I like to wear, and it emits a beautiful energy for me, and it's amazing. And I believe, and I also want to thank everybody that's here, being here with us, and we're sharing this information and understanding that we have a purpose. You know, um, we have a purpose to be here
Absolutely.
together.
Yeah,
And
fantastic. Having purpose gives everyone the hope too. Like, hey, there's new stuff coming out. Look at all the stuff that's happened just in the past year. So we're going to accelerate that with disclosure and with the advent of the extraterrestrials, how they want to show themselves and at what level to who as well, because there's still possibilities out there of these different types of staged events. I don't believe that's going to happen because I don't think they want to be misrepresented. I don't think the powers that be actually would be able to get away with that. I think they probably will be exposed if they try to do something like that. So real quick, you're never going to see this anywhere else. Look at that.
oh, nice! Look at that.
So you can see it from here. This is celestite, and this comes with the kit. Big chunks. Every chunk is different. I have why it's like that because it's irradiated with 24 karat gold. No one's ever done it. We've done it. We have a huge batch of it that we have access to, and we're going to do that with your crystal. So you're going to have the big crystal for charging, and you're also going to have some other stuff.
Oh wow! Yeah. Look at
that. Because we noticed that this thing has a lot more properties than the designer made it, and we're going to enhance that. And so, I mean, look, this thing is really heavy. I mean, the camera does no justice. Yeah,
that's amazing.
And those are all, look, that's inside. Those little, you have, yeah.
Wow.
All those plastics are inside, and you do have obsidian in there. You have different types.
Wow, wait. Do that again. Bring it close to the camera. Your background turns dark. Look at that.
Oh, that's just probably the reflection.
No, the amount of energy and light that's given out, it takes it away from the frequency of your background. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, these are special pieces. Been wanting to do this for a long time, but we got this all from one giant geode. And once those are sold out, there's nothing left. So we're trying to find a way to make as many as we can so people can utilize these healing energies. There's supercharge stations. I mean, I can't even get into the story behind this that we've been working with. A lot of these crystals too, like all the waters too, you know, all these solutions go through all the crystals. They flow through all these crystals before it gets sterilized. And if you read those definitions that he put in the comments, emerysmith.co, look at what is aquapharian nano blue. And if you look at the process, it's quite extensive. So it's not just charging the water, it goes through all the different rainbow light colors through a system that we have, a very intricate system. And, you know, without getting into it and pausing the time, or get into the questions here. Dwight Gonzalez, how effective is the blood filtering process therapy and removing microplastics, forever chemicals and toxins? It just depends on what kind of filter they're using. You know, so I would really just ask them, you know, that's a lot of work to remove microplastics. Our stuff does transmute that and allow it to be passed out through the body, but it takes a long time, about a year. Another good solution is the WATT, WATT-AHH is really good at, which, by the way, all of this is made with fake plasma water. It forms covalent bonds around microplastics, so it could be taken out of the body. You know, microplastics are everywhere. Everyone has microplastics. It's just about, you know,
everything that you do has it.
You can store our solutions in plastic, even though they come in glass, because the size of the molecules reflect off of plastic, so it can't take on the plastics. It's impossible. I learned that from Dr. Rob Gurley from Plata Technologies. So I'm just letting you know. Oh, that's the question. Okay, yeah. So that's pretty extreme, depending on your lifestyle. I mean, you're not going to be using plastics anymore. You'd go do the apheresis. I would really have to see what micron filter they're using. And I don't think it's small enough to get microplastics, because we're talking some of these microplastics are nanoparticleized. That's why a lot of these solutions we have that have the zeolite in there, so transmute those and break those down into nothingness. That's a good question, Dwight, for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of different fruits too that you can eat that can help remove some stuff.
Like doing
soursop. Well, yeah, it's a lot of different.
There's lots of stuff you can, you know, I think doing any type of tox stuff is really great. You know, I do another liver, kidney, it's a really gallbladder cleanse where we're doing 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 1 tablespoon of olive oil every minute for 2 hours on an empty stomach. So you wake up and it's fast and it's easy and you're over with it and you feel really great and it's super cheap. We're talking about lemon juice, a tablespoon, and a tablespoon of olive oil, but you got to do it every 15 minutes on an empty stomach. We put all of our patients on it. It's kind of gross at the beginning, but you feel amazing afterwards. It's really a life changer for a lot of people with gallbladder issues. And I also do the regular detox every morning. I do just a glass of ice water with, I do a whole fresh squeezed lemon and a teaspoon of white vinegar and mix that up and guzzle that down. That's the first thing I have every morning. That really gets your toxins out. It's one of my big detox things this past year, getting the gut to work and getting your alkalinity up. And it sets the whole day. Your gut's gonna, and those are some really easy, cheap to, you know, allow your body to, you know, get into its homeostasis. It's just every day trying to go back to homeostasis, and it's working all night too while you're sleeping. And for some of those that do sleep.
I
And
got.
a lot of you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I got an ingredient from the people that live under the ground with pomegranate and chia seeds. That's like a type of longevity type of drink. So the chia, you have to leave it in water first, and then you add the pomegranate juice, and that's really awesome with your blood, I think.
Yeah,
Well.
yeah, no, that's a good one too. Yeah, absolutely. I've heard about that. You know, let's go, Natalie here. Let's see. Oh, Natalie, is there any chance you guys have a combo of your items for sale and a trial size that's affordable for some of us that are on a strict budget? Yeah, we do. Like if you want to run right into Cosmic Market 3, Natalie, just say, hey, it's Natalie. Emery, can you make us the small pack? And we do have a pack that we make because some people want to try everything. So little 50 ml vials, and
Oh yeah, that's what I got.
and also, yeah, and it, I'm losing my desk there. It's funny because the desk is on it. Yeah, you got those. Yeah. And then, you know, it comes with a little flashlight too, and that way you can see if you have the active philanthropies in it. And the light is like too bright to see it. But the research in that, you know, comes from these jellyfish that live deep in the ocean. Yeah. And they live off light and they produce their own light. And they've been here longer than anything on the planet. So we were able to replicate that and bring light into the DNA, correct it, and help protect it and have its own light energy. Like I said, there's a lot of light that you can't see. I use that as just a way to show you guys that, look, at it's capable of, you know, having light, even though you can't see it. It brings it to your body. Yeah,
your whole body is light. You know, your whole body is electricity. Is what is it? A single cell has the capability of doing a mega nuclear explosion. Like it's
yeah,
crazy the energy it carries.
A good example of that I have on YouTube where the sperm gets in the egg and then there's all this light. I forgot what type of device they use to measure that, but it's pretty intense. Let's see here. Dwight says, you talk UFO dog style whistle being used by psionic skywatchers of Skywathers group at range to summon ET craft. How? Well, there's, yeah. So basically, Dwight's asking about these other, there it is right here, that there are teams out there. They all have their own different ways of contact. Some have these, you know, high pitched whistles. You know, all the stuff works in conjunction. You know, I have, of course, and my CE5 kit is like, you know, 2 giant cargo containers full of all sorts of interesting stuff. Because the ETs too, like these crystals, you have taken all the crystals that I showed you, like these big crystals have been already indoctrinated on many CE5s, so they're actually programmed. So we have what we call, you know, any type of, it could be your phone, it could be a radar detector, storm tracker, a lightning device. You know, these things all get entrained. So every time you have a CE5 or every time you make contact and you have this piece of equipment or the crystal that's on you, very important. Everyone has what we call on our team, the crystal that you first owned, the crystal that's been with you the longest. And it can be multiple crystals that you have now and then. But the more it gets, you know, put in front of any type of extraterrestrial craft, it does have the ability to hold that that information. Note to self: if you don't have a crystal, it's okay, because you are the crystal. You are the download. Accessing that information might be difficult, and or it might not be for some of you. And that's why it's always nice to have like some sort of amulet or something that reminds me, hey, this was with me when I had that experience. Like I said, that's, you know, I've had, you know, I've been on so many different types of CE5s, of course, in, you know, the government, like JP and I do. And also when I got out, I wanted to find an organization. Like I found CSETI and hung out with them for many years to see, you know, like, what are they doing? And so I have a bunch of different things I do when I do my CE5s when I go out, which we're going to start doing again next year. We're actually going to have space at the Emery's spaceship healing experience out there specifically for that. A very large area encompassing many acres that will be ongoing contacts for that. And that area is going to be really interesting because it has the earth, air, fire, water out there with these giant crystals and other special devices that we use for sending coherence thought sequencing light into the ether. You know, you might see it as a laser, but it's actually going everywhere, even below you. That's a good question. I'm concerned about David there. How's he doing? He's doing okay. I just got a picture of him today. JP can verify he's doing all right. We're still working with him on lots of different things. He's finally able. We're gonna do. It's gonna take 8 hours to film this story. I know 16 hours, 2 days, and he has a story. I don't know if you heard it, JP, but he doesn't talk about it. I've known about it for 2 decades. He's had me record it. He just doesn't want to go. He never wanted to go forward. I begged him to please go forward. It's the most astounding, epic story he's ever told, and it needs to be told. And it has to do with when he took his first F-14 test flight, F-14 Tomcat test flight, and the experiences he had during that, which has to do with a lot of sciences. Not just flying the F-14 Tomcat, but also interdimensional stuff that was not expected, and ending up in different places. So detail, it's definitely going to be a movie one day, and I'm so honored that he's trusting me with it. Of course he is. We're best friends. That we're going to do this the right way under a really nice environment and break it down so he has enough energy. We might even break down to 4 days. And the only way to get through it would be like we're going to be doing a sit down with it. It is just, it'll make you cry, it'll make you laugh, and it's coming from David Adair. I mean, who else? The best, guy to describe, his endeavors are just amazing, and this has never ever been heard. And so I think it's going to be, I know Darla's heard it. JP probably heard parts of it. It's going to be pretty amazing. So stay tuned. I got new stuff, new people coming on webinars coming up on the Sunday. So just make sure you register at emerysmith.co. Let's see, we got here. Oh, all right, Salamander put that up there. Hey, Michelle DePaul. I love crystals. Yeah, she's a crystal swinger like we are. Rachel Mayfield said he's a hoot. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry we went over JP a little bit. Hope that's okay.
Everybody deserves.
Yeah, everyone deserved it for sure. And excited. Have a safe trip over there. Keep me in contact, and let me know if you need anything. And
sure.
I'll try to get you one of these demos for that spike protein. So the quantum foot bath, you guys can get it on emerysmith.co, and we'll get your whole family on. Your whole family will trim and get that spike protein released. Because
I think somebody was asking a question like my credentials. I went to Fort Jackson for my training, and then I went to Fort Lee, Virginia for my MOS, and then I went to another place in upstate New York for another training, and then I went to Fort Benning, Georgia for my airborne training, jumping off of C-17s, C-130s, Ospreys, Black Hawks, whatever you want to call them. I did that, and then I was stationed in Eglin Air Force Base. I'm Army, so you just do the math where I was. So I can't really say the unit, but I'm sure there's smart people out there that will know where I was probably stationed. I went down south a lot, so we did a lot of recovery over there with other people. So it's my MOS. I was 91 Juliet. That's a quartermaster chemical repairs, and I dealt with water purification systems. I worked in Louisiana and NASA with the Aspens as well, and other things, training other people from South America. I was there actually with the Ukrainians. We trained 18 Ukrainians before they went back to Ukraine. And other than that, I did a lot of missions in between the state of Florida, like MacDill, Eglin. Eglin is one of the biggest Air Force base in Florida State, I think, and then it goes MacDill, right? Something like that. Other than that, I was stationed in Eglin Air Force Base, and as a military, Emery could tell you this: you always have more than one MOS, more than one job. They put you in a lot of places. So I went to a place similar to like the Monroe Institute, like where they teach you psychic and abilities and all that. I can't tell you exactly the MOS what that is, but I guess when my DD-214 is available, and I got medals from the Navy and Marines. I got medals from the Army. I got a lot of medals I can prove later on when I take off my mask, and people can really check it out what I did. but before that, we can't, for the protection of people and the people around us, we can't talk about the technologies only if we get the green light. And we can't talk about certain missions that we have in our sleeves that I'm sure Emery got video and pictures, and I do got video and pictures of other things that we can't just put it out there yet because of the protection of certain things that are happening worldwide. So, thank you, Emery, for having me here. I love you so much. Thank you, Commander Salamander, for putting all this together. Darla, thank you for having me here. It was an amazing. I felt an amazing energy here, an amazing frequency in this webinar. Wow. Everybody that was here, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys all are amazing, supporting us and supporting our journey, because it's a journey. There's more to come, and people are going to be overwhelmed when they find out what information is about to happen, Emery. And I laugh because it's coming out. Everybody's talking about it, but like when the real thing, everybody is going to be. I'm so happy. I just can't wait.
Yeah, we're celebrating. We're doing early celebration, JP and I on the team, because it's the first time where dates and times and things are really going to be correlating, and it's falling into place through the timeline that's set right now, which it's been long waited. JP, I've been waiting longer than you have. I knew it was in due time.
Wow.
I'm very, very patient with everything, but it had to fall in place at a certain time, I'll just say, even though it doesn't exist. So thank you, JP. But before I go, I also want to say thank you to Gaia TV. Cosmic Disclosure has been the #1 show, thanks to you guys, for 10 years now. Gaia makes me look fantastic. I want to thank the producers and all the team over there. The next couple episodes, Josh filled in for me because I was on vacation with Darla, and thank you, Josh. So I didn't go anywhere. I'm still on the show. It's going to be a really difficult episode with Sebastian and some other stuff, so be aware of that. Sign up if you're not on Gaia TV. Go to emerysmith.co. I know Cameron put that up there. Subscribe to Gaia. There's the link. Get on there. Show your support. If you have a subscription, cancel it and join on mine, because it shows that we're bringing it in. And they'll probably be like, well, I don't say that.
A lot of good things are happening in Gaia. A lot of good things. So, get in there.
It's a great platform. It's not just my Cosmic Disclosure. plethora of amazing shows on there. Of course, I love all my other colleagues too, and God bless them. And there's a lot of more people, new episodes, new shows, new things coming in. And don't forget, we have a whole 20 weeks of these webinars every Sunday coming out with not only JP, but other people that you're going to be seeing, some new faces, some old faces. Of course, we're going to have, David Adair, and we're going to have a lot of other military people that you're not used to seeing. Of course, the old ones like Michael Herrera, we've got Randy coming on board, Andrews, and some others. Lots of cool difference. Not always going to be cosmic. We're also going to be talking about, the types of frequency healing and quantum healing too, with new technologies that are out there that are coming out. So a different, look on things when we talk about the cosmic television network that we started. And this is something that's going to grow and grow and grow and hopefully get on its own by itself. So thank you, Darla, and everyone else who took part of this. Thank you, Cameron, for getting this and orchestrating it and managing everything. I know it was time. We're going to post the new speaker for next week, so be sure to get early heads up on that. And don't forget about the Cosmic Disclosure Alliance Facebook page. Oh my gosh, this is one of the great places you can go have conversations about not just cosmic disclosure, my episodes on Gaia TV, but also just to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We keep it really clean, no haters on there, and it's a place that you can feel free to be yourself and talk about these things without being harassed. And if you're looking for a good group of people to surround yourself by, this is the group. It's all positive energy, and everyone has their own opinions. So it's all about just learning from everyone else. Every day I learn something from JP, Cameron, Darla, even dogs. So this stuff is just an ongoing. Think of every day waking up and saying, this is going to be another amazing, beautiful day. I can't believe I'm here at this time. I mean, looking at stuff, I feel like I'm looking in. I'm inside me. So it's kind of like that for me. I'm always looking at things going, how did they do this? Look at this. What a great job they did. All right. Thank you guys so much for all your support. We love you. Thanks for following us. And thank you, once again, Commander Salamander. Thank you.
Thank you, Commander Salamander.
We're signing off.
Emery Smith.
All right, team. See you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, JP Missions. All the best on your travels to France. Thank you, Commander Emery Smith. And thank you to everybody here for joining us on this beautiful day today. Keep raising the vibes, and see you next time on Cosmic Television Network with Emery and our featured guests, of course. And just, follow us on socials, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Thank you, JP. Yeah.